get yourself into some Metro Redux. Let's talk about Artyom and friends. Rob, you look like you're holding the controller.
I am.
Are you going to drive us here into the post-apocalyptic Moscow?
Because they redid it.
Redo.
It's like Apocalypse Now. Redo.
Isn't that a cooking thing where you like cook stuff down and you like drizzle some redo on top of it?
Reduce.
You make a roux.
There you go.
A roux redo.
That's a redo. It's a re-roux. What am I talking about? Nobody's here to listen to me.
So Metro Redux is Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light together in one Xbox One, PlayStation 4 package.
PC package as well. Yes, as a matter of fact, yes. And one of the most important things is the way Metro 2033 has been improved visually and brought sort of up to the Metro Last Light level. So now 2033 has the Metro Last Light interface. It now includes the same weapon crafting, and there's some interesting stuff too, where you can sort of play Last Light more in the style of 2033, in the sense that it will sort of reduce the amount of ammo and gas masks that you exactly redo.
Yep.
The ammo and gas masks and so on, and sort of tweak the experience so it feels more like a 2033 experience.
In which it feels a little bit more scant, the resources you find.
A little bit more scary, a little bit more like survival horror might feel like. But then you also can apply the sort of the Last Light, a little bit more gung-ho aspect to Metro 2033. So you can play both games in a way that more or less they can feel the same, regardless of whether you preferred sort of the 2033 style or whether you preferred the Last Light style. But more interesting is the visual upgrade, to me at least. Because
at least
now,
in the first game.
Yeah, at least with the first game. Well, with Last Light, you barely notice. If you're playing on PC, for example, you're not getting a drastically different game. In fact, you're getting essentially the same game.
Last Light was just out last year.
It was just last year.
So you can't expect there to be leaps and bounds that they're going to be able to take for it. But 2033 is a different story.
But 2033 is definitely a different story. And if you were to play them back to back, and when I played them, having played 2033 and Last Light in the past, I actually did this thing where I was going back and forth chapter to chapter to chapter to chapter to chapter to chapter to sort of look and see how. I like that moment.
You didn't make it,
I like
Rob.
this moment when you go underwater and you're like, oh, I blew it.
It's probably really cold. You guys have no idea how cold that stinky Moscow water is.
I'm gonna guess it's pretty cold, considering there's lots of ice and snow around. And I'm no expert on weatherology.
That's true. You do not have your weatherology degree. You've only taken a few online courses.
Yes, but the games do look, and I said this in the review, and you should go read the review, but not now, after you're finished watching us, of course.
Homework.
But, I mentioned in the review, something I feel very strongly about, which is like, instead of it feeling like a game and sequel, it now feels more like, sort of like a Walking Dead-ish kind of thing, where it's like, here's the game, first part of the game, and now here's the second part of the game.
Do they narratively kind of complement each other that way? Like, does at the end of 33, do you feel like Last Light picks up from it?
Yes, well, Last Light does pick up directly from the events.
And does Last Light have like a satisfying ending?
So,
it does. 2033 has a good ending, but also there's a choice at the end of it. Then it only ends up. Last Light only starts one way. So regardless of what choice you made at the end of 2033, the canon through line may be different.
And I don't want to give anything away, of course, and it's interesting. Last Light was my favorite game last year, so which always seems to surprise a lot of people. But I really like the upgrades to 2033. There are a couple things that I miss. One is I feel like the nosalices, which are like some of the creatures.
Double
the nosalis, right?
Yeah.
I got blood on my
I say nosalice. You say nosalis.
The Russian dudes in the game say no solace.
I know. I'm kidding.
Oh, okay.
So anyway,
forgiven.
in some cases I like the way they look in the first game a little bit more. They're a little bit more. Oh, dark one. They're a little bit more furry and
Speedy little bugger.
But they're furry and a little bit more furry, and they used to look a little bit more creepy and alien.
This
now
weird naked mole rat thing going on. In the first one.
Yeah, they look a little bit more. Honestly, they look like they probably belong more in this world than the original design. But the original design had that sort of creepy alien look that freaked me out.
Yeah.
And there are a few other things like some of the gas masks. That 2033 has that gas mask that has they have the night vision goggles that are attached that come down.
Yeah.
And I don't remember seeing any of those in the Redux version, but you see those in the original 2033, and it's a really interesting looking helmet. And I kind of missed that while I was playing Redux because I don't remember seeing any there. And of course, some people just like the lighting's much improved, but some people kind of like that old lighting because it was more high contrast and a little bit faker looking, but they kind of liked the, but side by side, like you can really tell the difference. You should check out Rob's thing. Yeah, I guess you're seeing it on the screen right now.
I mean, the menu's different. That's really awesome. Like, thank God they got that.
But this is really interesting. Like, here's the original, and then there's you can see a big difference.
Presumably, it had to this was not just a real simple texture update. They had to fundamentally
this is
replace
completely
a bunch of
redone in a lot of cases. Even cutscenes, like. There are places. So in Metro 2033, the original, like a lot of cutscenes took place and showed you Artyom in the third person, and now everything takes place in first person to keep it more in line with how they did Metro Last Light. So
another thing they did, we talked about this, was how they seem to have changed a lot of voiceover as well.
A lot of voiceover, and that ended up really bothering me. We had this discussion yesterday about the bit in 2033 where you come across a kid and you put them on your shoulders and kind of take them home through the thing. So video game children look freaky most of the time anyway, and often kind of sound freaky too because they're adults playing children.
Adults playing children, but also just the character model and the way that it's like. The proportions are just not right, or they'll have like a fully formed adults, man jaw, and it's like you're 9 years old.
So, and this game is no exception, but that whole bit, like you come across the kid, he doesn't look like a kid, he looks like a miniature adult. He sounds like a miniature adult when he talks, and the dialogue makes no sense because he's not saying anything a child would actually say.
Yo, you got a pack of smokes. I gotta do my fucking taxes.
So there
Where you going?
There are bits like that.
My wife's breaking my balls.
I got kids to feed.
There are bits like that kind of stand out, and they stood out before, but now they stand out even more because.
It's this way.
Just jump down. Yeah, there you go.
Well, yeah, and what's so funny is it's clearly a woman pretending to be a young boy.
It's the Bart Simpson.
Like Bart Simpson effect, but she at least pulls it off.
Nancy Cartwright actually sounds like a boy. Like Bob's Burgers, Ollie and Andy are
right.
The Silverman sisters.
But literally, it sounds like.
But they sound like boys.
Hey, mister, come on over here. I know the way. He's got this oversized coat on.
And his fantastic Russian accent that you just showed off.
Yes.
Thank you. Oh, you're done.
I had to do the hands. Hey, mister. He's got this oversized jacket. Follow me. I'm a kid, it's me.
A child. A believable child.
It's like some
I like this kid.
New Jersey Oliver Twist.
So yes. Are we talking about a game? I forgot exactly what we're doing.
I think we're reenacting Newsies.
I just want to see this fucked up kid now. That's all I want to see.
I don't think we're gonna get there. In this, it's quite a bit ahead of this.
Is this worth playing for someone who's?
We could actually do it.
Do you
try? I think we could do it. Yeah.
On Xbox One.
I mean, we want to check out this new menu. I think it looks great. We can just watch that for like 2 minutes. Pretty sweet.
What are loading times like?
Look at that.
And I didn't mention this in the review, but one of those little things that kind of bothers me as you go through is that you find diary pages that you pick up. Now, in most games, you're picking up other people's remnants. In here, you're picking up your own things.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't make any sense. Like, what did you do? Go to all these places beforehand and spread your own diary around? And then you're going through
and also, why would you be picking your diary?
It's like, why are you
know what's in it.
You're learning.
You wrote it. Oh, that's right.
You're learning from your own words. This doesn't make any sense.
Aren't you picking up a piece of paper and then maybe taking a moment to do a diary entry? Is that what it is? Like
stalker stuff.
I found some paper in a quiet moment. I'm gonna record some of my thoughts.
That's not like how the game presents it. It's just like you just pick up a dossier right there and pick it up. It's like, oh,
that's great.
So here's what I was thinking. If I hadn't read this, I would never have known the contents of my own brain. But obviously, I think 2033 is quite good, and I think Last Light is really excellent. It remains excellent.
We're having some fun at the game's expense, but I think this is one of those situations where you know, there's a few weird things that sort of stand out to you or are fun to talk about, but like overall, these are excellent games, and this is like a really great way to play them.
Oh, totally. And one thing I like about it, now I like, you know, we had kind of a difference of opinion in terms of like the pervading darkness and whether that works to the game's advantage or not. But I really like, and this comes as no surprise to anybody that knows how much I love Dark Souls, but I love this kind of atmosphere anyway. But one of the things I really love is that it's not cheesy here. It's not, I mean, you spend a lot of time simply existing in these places. And when people talk, and these guys have these Russian accents, they kind of sound, you know, they're always looking a little bit, they're always telling like little jokes, they're always just trying to get a little bit of humor in there. And it feels like, okay, these are guys who have lost hope, but you know, a little bit of vodka, a little bit of making fun of things, and you know, maybe they found a reason to push through this.
Yeah, they've got this like this flinty humor that's like, you know, there's a defeated air to them, but they're still just like, well, that's my world.
Yeah, it's like, well,
in it, you know.
Let's go on and see what's going.
What
so
what
do you think about that girl over there, huh? You know, and of course, boobs. So if you're into that, there's some boobs.
Is there new HD boobs?
Are the boobs redoed?
It's really no, straight up they are. Like I remember playing the scene. I play the scene, and then there's this girl walks by, and you're like, oh, she's got big ones, huh? And then you do the Redux, and you see it, and it's like she even looks at you.
Oh no!
Yeah,
have they like handed
completely redone.
I'm surprised you didn't put that in the graphics comparison.
Know.
Just wipe back and forth across that a few times.
It's really.
Thank you for your restraint, Rob.
It's really, yeah. The game does. This whole world has sort of a really interesting way. Women don't have much more to do in this world.
They're not out roaming the
from,
tunnels. They're just kind of sitting stationary in the cities where you can interact with them a little bit.
Making weird adult babies.
You know, strong woman in Last Light, but it's not a role that is really fleshed out or even accompanies you for long.
Instead, you just hang out with a guy named Bourbon.
Bourbon.
Bourbon is fun. I think bourbon is really fun.
Is it bourbon like the drink or like the chocolate biscuits?
No, it's like the drink.
All right.
It's like the drink.
What?
You don't get that
biscuits?
reference either?
That's a,
No, Danny.
I have no idea what you're talking
Sorry.
I
about.
don't understand Irish biscuits.
Everything I know about Irish people I learned from the Assassin's Creed trailer.
Great.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Shay
that
Patrick,
guy's accent's legit.
Shay Patrick Connor or whatever his name is. It's not Connor. Shay Patrick, what is it?
It is. It's Cormac.
Cormac.
Yeah, he's got 3 first names. That's like calling somebody like an American character Billy Joe Bob or something. Doesn't make any sense. How far away from this weird kid are we, Rob?
Don't stand on the thing. What did you do?
Oh, that's right.
He was
Oh,
showing you
Jesus Christ!
Wow.
Oh, he died.
Yeah, he was showing you and everything. And you're like, blah, 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 blah. Irish people.
It wasn't my fault that he fucking killed his friend.
That's true. That was Rob's fault. He just ran straight through the tripwire.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh well.
Don't do that.
To see the weird kid, why don't you get Metro Last Light Redo for yourself?
That's right. See
Yeah,
the
that's
kids.
right. You're
Get it
like,
for the
I
kids.
don't know where it is. I can't find it.
Weird
But there
kids.
is the creepy moment with the kid, and the kid's all creepy.
Don't say the creepy moment with the kid, Kev.
But then you
Don't say that.
So it's
then
Metro
you fall down.
Redux.
You fall down the holes. And
Xbox One, PS4, PC, $50. $50.
it's $50. Yes, it's $50.
Maybe.
Sorry. Now
No.
next week, like we get
Next
it a week
week?
early. We get to talk about it. Like we get to talk about it like a whole week early. Great
job.
Cool.
Like so good for us. We get to play and you don't right
Yay!
now.
Wow. Took a turn there, Kevin.
Yeah.
Thank you for
I
coming
like
on anyways.
I like to lord it over others.
Thank you, Rob,
Thanks.
for nobly trying to get us to see a weird kid, but instead just
Yeah.
killing your buddy.
Oh well.